Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So we're here today with day 30, December the 30th of Dephemerember, and the prompts today are envelope flip and secret love letter. So I'm going to turn this into a bit of a mass making situation. I have been busily going through so many paper scraps and trying to use them up in various ways, and I came across a whole little stack of envelopes here. Some are junk mail, and some are from the Round Robin challenge that I do in April and November with my friends Red Parrot and Shell's Creative Chaos. So we have all these little envelopes that things came in as part of that kind of Advent style challenge. So what I'd like to do today is kind of repurpose all of these envelopes to make them flips, to be able to open. So I'm going to do sort of that a bunch of times, and then we'll use one in a way that is meaningful to this prompt, and I'll probably speed things up a little bit. Now, my other use it up kind of challenge here, which I think is going to be one of my foundations for 2025. It's going to be about like using up things that I have had for some time and have not used. And I have a lot of really beautiful oil paint, and I very rarely use oil paint these days. Now, be forewarned, I was going to do this on my jelly plate, but I went, wait a minute, because I know that jelly plates have non-toxic mineral oil in them, and oil paint is kind of made with things that, can possibly interrupt that mineral oil. So that being said, I didn't want to mix oil and oil, so I thought, I better check this out. So I Googled it, and I found that yes, in fact, Jelly Plate, the Jelly Arts company, they say that you can use oil paint on your jelly plate, but if you do, don't let it sit there for very long, because I think their concern is that they don't want it to kind of affect the non-toxic mineral oil that they make, the claim of in their product. I don't know if it can damage it though, but I suspect it possibly can, just from my own kind of knowledge of, chemistry and things. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to play on top of some packaging paper. So all that I really want to do, I've got a lot of Pebeo oil paints. I'm just going to get into them and start to make some basically painty papers. So these paints have been around for a little while, so they might be a little bit sploogy, but not too bad. They're not super old. But my point is, I want to open up all my envelopes, and I thought I had removed all this washi. I must have missed one little washi bit. We'll get it off there. And I want to just basically make these into nice painty envelopes that we can use in journals. So I'm just going to use my brayer and go through, and I'm just going to drag it on over them here to create color. And I'm just going to keep sort of grabbing colors out of this collection and making these envelopes. Now, I'll probably speed this up a little, and you can just kind of, see the process of how this looks as I go. And then I will come back once I've got them, colorful and vibrant. And I'm actually going to do both sides of the envelope, because the sticky doesn't matter anymore, obviously, in the process of creating these. And I would like to just see color everywhere. So the nice thing with oil paint is it is blendy, so you can spend a little more time blending with your brayer. You can pull out a brush and do as much as you like. But see, that's what we're going to end up with, is this lovely textured oil painted envelope. These are going to have a slight shine to them, not super shiny, but they will be very nice. So let me speed things up and we will get started. oil painted, but the thing with oil paint is that they do take a very long time to dry. There are ways to kind of make things dry faster. You can buy products for fast drying oil paint, things like linseed oil and thinning your paint with turpentine and those kind of chemicals can help, as well as priming your surface with acrylic and doing thinner layers. But all of that being said, we're not that complicated today. So I'm just going to take one of these envelopes and I'm going to do a bit of like a combination of techniques that I've kind of wanted to experiment with. This is really about experimentation. Oh, that one's really nice. I love the iridescent oil paint on that one, so we're going to use that one. But you'll see these came out really nice, right? The oil paints are really pretty on them. But before diving into oil paint, definitely do like a bit of research if you're unfamiliar with it, because otherwise you're going to have like oily kind of paper for quite some time if you don't, know what to expect, right? So, and the paint will continue to move. So what I'm going to do is just open the envelope up now. Try to anyhow. These are good envelopes. Whoops.
We need to go parkour soon tonight.
Sorry, my son is making announcements this morning. Okay, so there we go. Open that on up. Now, I'm not going to worry about opening the flaps out, because what I want to do is actually laminate this and then emboss it. So just give me a couple moments to get some equipment. All right, so the laminator is warming up, and then I'm just going to go into my little book here of my little travel press that has some things in it, which I think are mainly leaves. That's what I'm looking for, if I have any left in here. I may only have like one left over. I tend to use these things up. We have a couple of those flowers. Maybe, maybe not. I was really hoping to find a good big leaf. Well, look right here. We have this amazing looking oak leaf. Okay. I will accept that. That'll be the project. All right. So, close this back up. Needs to get refilled with goodies. So then I'm just going to grab my envelope and put it inside of my lamination sleeve here. This is going to take up most, if not all, my lamination sleeve, yeah. So I'm not going to worry about putting anything else in here. I usually try to like fill my lamination sleeve up as much as possible, but this one's really actually quite filled by this. Let's get all this stuff out of the way so we can push this up to the top. Okay, good. Put that on top. Now I'm going to take the stem off because it's just going to introduce a bit too much thickness for my project. So just press this down. Now we need to wait for this to heat up. So I will do that, and meanwhile I will get my other equipment ready. So we are all heated up now, and we will head on into the lamination here. So we're just laminating this oak leaf right onto this oil painted envelope. And if you wanted to, you could absolutely, maybe in cursive, you could actually have written a nice letter on the leaf itself, and that could have been your secret love letter. And that would look really neat. Just give this a moment to kind of process on through. paint is going to look so pretty. And the leaf is just, you know, beautiful. So, okay. So this is what we have here. And I have no need to go over it again. It's all good. This we're not going to see, so it doesn't matter. No stress about that. So I will shut this off and move it out of the way. Then I'm going to cut around here, leaving just a little bit of a border. Do I need to go over it again? Let me double check. No. Okay. Sometimes you do if like things look like they haven't fully sealed, but this one's good. I sometimes like to double press my leaves. Okay, but no, we're good. Okay. So now I've just literally cut out this shape again, right, of the envelope. So then we're going to come in and just fold it up again. And I need my bone folder here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is actually just turn this on again, and I'm going to put it, see if I can put it through like this to just give it a nice heat press down one more time. And that's just to get like a nice press of our fold. Okay. Off again. So here we go. That's nice and pressed. And just look at that. Can you see how pretty the paint looks? The leaf and the paint, it's all just really nice. So now what I want to do is the second part of this kind of big experiment we're doing today is some embossing. So I'm going to take my die cut plate out here and my magnetic mat. Put this on the platform here, and I've got this embossing plate, and I want to just like emboss half at a time, I think, if I can. Can I fit that? Nope, not quite. We're gonna have to do it this way. So we'll do the center and get the plate here. If you have a bigger embossing surface, then it will be easier for you. I do not have like a large embossing machine. I just have this little guy, which is totally fine for me. And then you're going to get some fun embossing going on that plastic. See that? So that's just going to add a little to our texture. I don't want to do like a ton. I just want a little bit of texture there. So now we can put this back together real quick and get it out of the way. Okay. There we go. All right, so now we have this, and what I want to do is I want to go stitch it closed, stitch this whole thing around, so I'll be right back. Okay, so then I wish you guys could feel this because it's so fun, but hopefully you can see there's a lot of layering and like interesting iridescent colors than obviously the leaf. And then just having a bit of embossing in the plastic just kind of, it adds interest. Like I feel like this is the kind of thing you might pick up and want to really look at, right? So then on the back we have the top of the leaf coming over, and we've reestablished our envelope again. So this is now, you know, fully able to be an envelope. So now we just need to create our secret love letter for this. Now I kind of, this part of the challenge to me wasn't all of that like important, right? It was kind of like secondary to just wanting to make ephemera. So what I'm actually going to do is I have a couple of old pieces of paper here, and you know, I was thinking about things in terms of like secret and love letter and wanting to send kind of like good vibes out into the world. So like, you know, maybe what you could write here like is about intention. Like I went through a period of time once where I was doing a lot of yarn dyeing, and I would kind of associate different like beliefs or different values with certain colors. So, you know, maybe one is knowledge, one is ethics, and one is empathy. And let's say that was red, blue, purple. Okay, so if I put those three colors in a yarn, I would add them to a dye bath and into a kettle, and they would kettle dye, and it was kind of like I was putting those intentions into the yarn. So I think about this like in terms of like putting hidden intentions in things. And you know, sometimes that can be done in a positive way, and sometimes it can be done in a negative, more like voodoo doll type way, but that's not my intention today. So just something like, you know, may this day bring you peace and quiet. So there's an intention, okay? And then all you're going to do is take a glue stick, and now we can hide our intention inside of a letter or a piece of paper. Put those together. And then I will tear the edges off. It's kind of, I love how this old paper looks. It's really, really cool. It's just old, like first, you know, front pages from really old, like 1800s books. They always have such a nice feel to them. It's also such a contrast to the kind of complexity we did with the envelope, right? Then I'll bring this back, and I suppose I should have just kept it here, but I completely forgot I had planned to do this. Okay, we'll put this here. Our same embossing folder here. Plunk it on there. And I want it to fit sort of like a Polaroid, like on one end. Okay. Tuck this whole thing in here. Pull that out. Move this to the side again. Sorry, this is, you know, a pretty quick process that I don't want to have to pause for. I just want to put it away and not have to pause the camera. Because we are getting to the end here of Dephemerember. And I'm getting a little tired. Okay, so now we have this. So you'll see it's embossed. On the embossed side, I'm just going to take an ink that kind of goes with this color in some way. I'm kind of feeling like I want green, even though I haven't used green. You know what I'll use is, here it is, Rusty Hinge. I often confuse the two. So then, just clean my brush off a little here. That's fine. We'll just take Rusty Hinge and kind of go over the embossing. Just to kind of bring it out a little. I'll do it on both sides. I just kind of want it to look like old paper, that something has occurred, you know. It's not specifically as embossed in such a way it's as detailed as like a card you would want a card to be, but you know, just that the paper has undergone some kind of treatment. Okay. A little bit of dark ink in the background of this brush, and I'm just like letting it rub out completely on the paper because I like it. Okay, so I might just tear the bottom edge off of this. There we go. So inside here we have our secret intention, our secret love letter that's been pressed inside there, and then it can go right inside our envelope flip. Hopefully it fits. It does. Good, good. So there you go. We have an envelope flip that could go into a journal as so. I would probably just bind that right in the center there, and then maybe I would even stitch or attach something to this flip. You could also glue or stitch it down. It doesn't matter. But I think it gives like a nice texture inside a journal, you know, just to have like multiple textures like this. It's just kind of fun, and it's like complicated but also simple at the same time. So that is my little project for today. I hope you enjoyed. It was, you know, a few steps for sure, but if you set everything up ahead of time, I think it's quite easy to create this kind of an envelope. Again, you know, take caution with oil paint because it's not the same as a lot of other paints that we use that are more instant gratification. Oil paint can take between days and months to dry on paper that hasn't been pre-treated, and also, you know, you wouldn't want to use it in like a very old paper that doesn't have sizing, because it can break down like antique or vintage papers that were created before, you know, paper went through bleaching and sizing and all those kind of modern processes. So if you are using oil paint, use it on modern paper, not on vintage, you know, paper that you care a lot about, because it can break down over time, you know, and probably decades, to be honest. But, you know, I think in the junk journal world and in the memory keeping world, we're trying to create things that do last a while, even though the definition of ephemera is for, you know, a limited or a shorter time, but it's not forever. But we try to make it that way, right? So that being said, thanks for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow for the final day of Dephemerember. Bye for now.